Well, thank you so much, Natalie, for all your support and everything, and I'm so grateful for everything you've done and supporting us and helping us get into all the concept stores, so thank you. So yeah, just to tell you a little about myself, I started my company back in 2009. I started the business, my husband is gluten-free, and back in 2009 there were very few gluten-free options. And I actually have an engineering background, so I'd worked in business and different things, no food experience at all. I used to love to bake and experiment and things like that. In the weekend, I used to make granola. And when my husband went gluten-free, there was no gluten-free like granolas on the market. Back then, the gluten-free granolas were more like cornflake based, which if you love granola, it's just very different. So I used to make granola for him. I started making it, and it was hard to find oats. And then I started sharing it with friends and family, and they were like, you know what? There's nothing like this on the market. You should maybe try selling it. So I kind of took the leap. I started off with 3 flavors, and I made little sample bags. So I would number little bags, 1, 2, 3. I would hand them out to friends, family, neighbors, kind of get feedback. And then I did that probably like hundreds of times, kind of tweaking the recipes till I kind of came up with my formulas. My initial flavors were vanilla maple, which is kind of like a plain flavor, chocolate chip, because I love chocolate, and I actually love eating chocolate for breakfast because I don't drink coffee. So it's like my little energy boost in the morning. And then being from Michigan, I've always loved Traverse City dried cherries, so I did an almond cherry. So I kind of did those 3 flavors. I didn't have any baking experience, like I mentioned, so I worked one holiday season at Zingerman's, which was an amazing experience. They were really nice to let me work for them. I worked the evening shifts. I'd get there at like 4 at night and stay till about 2 in the morning, and it was over the holidays, so I was driving home in blizzards, all sorts of crazy weather, but it was an amazing opportunity. But through that, I kind of realized that I didn't have the expertise or the resources to build my own bakery. And back in 2009, gluten-free was really new. There were no gluten-free commissary kitchens or incubator kitchens or things like that. So I ended up finding a bakery in Chicago that was really nice, so it let me kind of go there and make granola. So I drove down there, spent a week making granola with their team. I drove it back to Michigan. I literally had no idea if anybody was going to buy this granola. I had made 300 bags of each flavor, and I was kind of terrified. My family thought I was crazy. And then I started, it was during 2009, so if you remember, the economy in Michigan was really bad. So I didn't know if it was the worst time possible to start a business, but it ended up being the best time because stores were really interested in supporting local. And so I went to local stores, and I remember one store kind of in the area, I was talking to the buyer, and he's like, sure, I'll take a case of each. And I remember I was like shocked. I didn't know what to do. Like, I didn't have granola with me. I wasn't really expecting somebody to say yes. I didn't even know how to create an invoice. So I had to go home that night, Google how to create invoices, go to my little warehouse, get a case of each and drop it off. And then just kind of grew from there. Because then if you're in one store, you can be like, oh, well, so-and-so carries it. And then it kind of helped grow. So it's just definitely been such a journey. You know, when I started, a dream of mine has always been to be nationwide. And as of January, we finally accomplished that goal. We're now at least in one store in every state. So I was really excited to accomplish that goal. Thank you. So it's been a journey, and I'm Women Business Certified, and it's kind of interesting. So back in 2012, I became Women Business Certified, and it was a ton of work, and it was really expensive. It was $500 for a certification, and it was like nobody cared. I mean, I had the certification, and like I had nothing to do with it, so I ended up not renewing it. And flash forward to 2019, I decided, you know what, I'm going to try to get recertified again, and I've been certified ever since. And it's just been so amazing to see in that 7-year period that people care now. People want to see your certification. They have programs. They're happy that you're certified. So it's been really incredible to see the transformation as a women business. So that's been really incredible. And, you know, I have an amazing women team. I work with Linda, who's over here, who's incredible. We've been working together for about 12 years. I'm very, very grateful. And I work with Gina, who you guys probably see around. She's a fantastic, and she's been working with us for about 8 years. So I love working with this women team. You know, there's always challenges, like everyone's been saying. You know, I've had issues, so I make my product with a contract manufacturer, and in the past they'd be like, oh, we're going nut-free. You got 2 months to find a new facility to make your product. And you're like, okay. So there's always crazy challenges going on. I now work with actually a woman-owned contract manufacturer, which is incredible. And in the industry, I'd never really thought about it, but most of the manufacturing is men. So I'm hoping that will shift at some point. You know, we've definitely had our challenges, COVID obviously, as you can imagine, it's been a challenge, but we got through that. But now we're dealing with new challenges, as you know, like inflation and costs of goods are skyrocketing. I mean, I think our cost of goods have gone up like 35% in the last couple months. It's the worst oat crop since 1866. So it's just like oat shortages and just everything. I'm sure you guys can all relate. So there's always challenges, and I always say, you know, I hope I'm in business next year, and I've been saying that for, knock on wood, going on 13 years, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all the amazing people who support me, and I'm so grateful for everyone I've met along the way, and my customers and my retailers, and so I'm just really, really grateful for the journey, and we do try to give back. We sponsor events with like Gleaners and Brilliant Detroit and Impact 100 and Lighthouse. So we really try to give back to the local community too, and just really grateful, and thank you so much for having me. So.